Good morning, everybody. Did I mess up here? Am I the host or did I screw up, Carrie?
You're the host.
Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. And I say morning because it's morning somewhere in the world. And I'm very excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. It's something I've been training for years. I've been in the by the way, my name's DeMarr Zimmerman, and we got one more minute before we start. So anybody out there, say hi if you want to. After you've said hi, please mute if you click on the thing down below, you can mute your phone. We are recording all this. I'll have a copy of it. Let's see on the chats. Red Deer. Hello from Red Deer. Okay, great. That's a great place to be from, I guess. Red Deer. Where's Red Deer? I don't know. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody tonight. Again, we're going to go ahead and get started. How do I push mute on here? Will you teach me? Hey, listen, this is really cool. You can be completely computer illiterate and still build this business. So what do I need to do to mute everybody?
If you should be able to hit mute all, but if you click on me and you hover above
like our place.
There's three little dots.
Neighbor's roof.
And you can make me a co-host and I can mute people while you're talking.
Okay, where do I put it? Says stop, mute, chat. Where does it say allow?
I wish I didn't work. I was on call this week and I called him about going ice fishing.
I think we should listen to that conversation the rest of the night and see what be a fly on the wall. No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna mute people for you.
Okay, great. Everybody excited about tonight. Tonight we're going to have some fun. I'm going to be talking about some subjects that are very exciting to me because it's things that I learned a long time ago and helped me become successful in this industry. And I'm pretty excited about it. So we got to mute everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk about, I call this training. I call it, how do I get rid of these over here so that people can see? I've got everybody on the side. How do I get them out of there?
I think you're good. Like we can see your full screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you hit webinar or play, but I don't see it on your screen. So,
okay,
but we can see the full screen. So I think we're good.
Okay, so I call this, thank you, Carrie. Carrie is my upline leader and up in Canada. They're in that really warm weather. They've got palm trees and everything up there right now that are just like, and they're in the sun. They're just really enjoying it up there. Am I right?
Yeah, we're really loving it here.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Without the journey.
But anyway, let me turn my phone off real quick or turn it down so that I'm not bothered. So tonight I'm going to be talking about some things that I think that are real important when you're building a business. I don't want to say this stuff to pat myself on the back because I'm not, but I've been successful in network marketing. I started in 1991. I'm 63 years old. It's 31 years ago. I started the first company that I got involved in was a company called Network 2000. They sold Sprint products when long distance, this is how long ago it was, when long distance was deregulated. And I got involved in that and I was somewhat successful. I started and I got, I had about 223 reps. I signed up probably about 2,000 customers. I'd go to trade shows and get people signed up. And I thought that that's what it was all about. My sponsor, he became the number 2 money earner in that company, made a lot of money with that company. And I thought I was a better salesman than him. In fact, I told him, I was just kissing myself saying, hey, I can sell better than you. Why are you making so much more money? And he goes, because I learned something that you're not willing to learn right now. And I said, what's that? And he says, I've learned to find the leverage in my business. You're just trying to gather customers. And he said something that was really, really made me think. And he says, you can't retail yourself to the top. Because if you try to do that, you can get, now our compensation plan allows you to make a lot of money on customers. But he says, if you want to not have a job, then you don't want to focus on customers. You want to find customer gatherers. He said that there's two things that we do in this business. He says, we gather a few loyal customers, and then we help other people do the same thing. Now, he didn't say we gather a whole bunch of customers. He said we gather a few loyal customers. A good friend of mine, Eric Worre, taught me a fundamental principle. It's been around the industry forever. And he said this, he goes, this industry is about getting a large group of people doing a few simple activities over a sustained period of time. Then he defined that over a sustained period of time. He says getting them to do a few activities for a short period of time. Now, all they have to do is for a short period of time. And if they replace themselves, then they don't have to keep doing it and over and over and over again. So the more you can duplicate or replace yourself, the better your organization, and you build a really strong chain of a network of people that have gathered a few people who gathered a few people who gathered a few people. And so those are the things that I'm going to talk about tonight. And I hope I can do it without coughing. I picked up a cough again. I thought it was all gone, my COVID cough, and it came back. I don't have COVID, but it came back. And so I might get a little bit, my throat might get a little sore. So let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to, I put a bunch of questions in the framework of what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to correlate those questions as I go through this presentation. This training is called Fuel Me Up. There's no question that you know why it says Fuel Me Up. It's about a lot of us are on empty. We're tired of what's going on in the world today. Our jobs are at risk. People are making less money than they ever have before. I was talking to a lady today that the third of their income in their household is gone because of COVID. There's all sorts of things happening, and I call it the last few years are the years of the entrepreneurs. We're going back to the grassroots, where we're going to have to people are looking for money in their from home, and I call it from their car, from their wherever they've got a mobile phone, and they can attach to people all over the world. There's a guy that a long time ago said this, and it's probably more true today than it was back then. And he said it back in 2008 when the housing industry in the United States just crashed. And 2009, he was being interviewed by a guy, Eric Worre, and he said this. His name is Nathan Ricks, and he was with Newski, and he said this. He says that the number one commodity in the world today is supplemental income. And that is true today as it was then. So when I'm talking tonight, or when I am coaching tonight and trying to help you understand that this business, there's two products in a network marketing business. Number one, the product that sustains it, so that people will use it. If they're not getting paid, they'll still use it. So it's got to be a good, valid product that people will use even if they don't get paid. And then there's the other product, and that is the opportunity to make money, supplemental. Network marketing is no secret. Network marketing has been around for years, and the reason why it has is because people are looking for ways to make money and build relationships and have a synergy. But it's residual income that attracts people to this. Money that they can get long after they stop working. And that's what makes this. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. Most of you know who he is. He wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then the cash flow quadrant. He talks about wealth, and wealth is created. Wealth is when you stop doing something, it continues. And so wealthy people understand that. So when you stop working, it continues. In fact, if you've got a strong company or business, it will continue to grow even after you stop. And that's how I look at the Epic Be Eco products, as products that are long lasting. And if you do it right, it will continue to grow after you stop, because eventually everybody wants to stop working. They want to retire. They want to spend time with their family. It's not really that they want to retire. They just want time freedom. But Robert Kiyosaki said that the only way you can create wealth is you have to leverage your time or leverage your money. And most people don't have enough money to leverage, so they have to leverage their time. And people are one of the best ways, because you can have 3 hours a day that you can work a business. But if you got 10 people that have 3 hours a day, you've leveraged yourself 10 times, 10x yourself. And that's the leverage that you get out of building a business like this. And there's nowhere around that you can build a business where so many people have the ability to create a level of income that they want to, if they're willing to do what it takes to do it. So I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things that I've learned in the industry. Again, I talked about that, and that one of them is flock shooting versus sponsoring on purpose. A lot of people who get involved in this industry, they flock shoot. And let me tell you what flock shooting is. Flock shooting, when I was, I'm a duck hunter. I've been a duck hunter. I don't do as much now and as I've gotten older, but I started duck hunting when I was 14 years old. And I was a good shot when I would, skeet shoot and all that kind of stuff. But when I had a whole group of people, ducks that were out there, I would just aim at the flock and I'd shoot, and I'd get out of 2 or 3 or 4 flocks, I might get 1 or 2 ducks. And later on, when I got married and had kids, I had an opportunity to go with an expert guide in duck hunting. And I went with him on this club, and it was really cool. And this hunting club is called the Millionaires Club. And we went out there, we were shooting, and he was pounding the ducks. They were bopping out of the sky like no other. And I was doing the same thing. I was shooting, getting 1 or 2 or 3 out of 3 or 4, 5 flocks that went by. And I said, "Man, you're just a good shot." And he goes, "No, I can tell you're a good shot. You just don't know how to shoot ducks." And I go, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, you're flock shooting instead of aiming. And what you do is you take your lead ducks in the front of the flock, and you aim and head a front of them, and you shoot, you lead them. And then you pick another one, and you lead it, you pick another one, and that's how you shoot the ducks, and that's how you're going to get more ducks." So what he did is he says, you've got to focus, and you got to, on purpose, focus on a few ducks in the flock. Now, how does that relate to sponsoring on purpose? See, a lot of people think that this business is about getting some customers, and then maybe someday, possibly, if you're lucky, they'll become a distributor, and then they'll come into your business and they'll start building a business. And the philosophy that I learned from some very powerful leaders and mentors in this industry is you've got to sponsor on purpose. You've got to target those people about the opportunity. And I learned a really, really, really good technique, and that is talk to people about the business. And if they don't want to do the business, they'll at least be your customer. You see, a lot of people scare people out of this business. And then what they'll do is they'll try to talk about the business. If they're not interested, they try to coax them and say, "Oh, you'd be the best," and all that kind of stuff. Instead of stopping right there when they say, "No, I'm not interested in that," say, "Oh, will you at least be my customer?" See, it's a lot easier if I go to Carrie and I say, let me say, Carrie, say no when I do this. I say, "Carrie, would you like to be involved in this business with me and be a business partner with me and start building a network marketing business?" Say no.
No.
Okay, well, then, or I'm sorry. Let me start that again. I'm talking to you and I say, "Would you be my customer?" Say no.
No.
Will you at least be in the business with me then? Does that make sense? if you don't want to be a customer, you definitely don't want to do the business. But if I do it the other way around and I say, listen, you want to be in business with me. Now, this is an approach I'd use, but if I say that and you just say no, say no, you want to be in business with me with this network marketing company? Say no.
No.
Will you at least be my customer then? You see how much more natural that is? And that's the process that I learned a long time ago is that if you talk to someone about the opportunity and they're not interested, they probably will at least be your customer. And what is a customer with the Be Eco product? The Be Eco product, you can only be a distributor to get it wholesale. If you want to get it as a customer, you have to buy it from a distributor right now. And so I have a whole bunch of packs that I can give to somebody or ship off to somebody or give them to them when I'm out and about and pay, and they'll pay me for it and they become my customer. And then I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to bug them. So that's kind of what I mean by flock shooting versus sponsoring on purpose. Sorting versus selling. A lot of people think that you need to be in sales in order to do this. No, you got to learn to sort. And all sorting is that all you're doing is getting people to take a look at this. And how you do that is you tools, because we all like to talk too much. We like to hear ourselves talk. Or if someone asks us a question, what we do is we regurgitate, throw up all over them. And then they start backing up and say, I'm not interested. A perfect example. Have you ever had do they even have clutch trucks anymore or anything? Yeah, they do. I remember when I was a kid, I learned how to drive a clutch truck, and it was hard. It was bounce back and forth. But kind of a look at this way is if someone gets in the car with you, and you're doing a clutch and you're jerking all over and everything like that, do they want to get in the car with you again? No. So let somebody else that's already has the experience use the tools. Like tonight, we had an incredible Zoom meeting tonight. It was an opportunity so people could take a look at it. And Angel and Carrie did a wonderful job. They talked about the product so they could see how that works. And they talked about the opportunity. That is a call or a Zoom that you want because it tells people how good the product, you have testimonials on that, and then it tells how you can make money. So what it does is it allows the people who are interested to take a look at it. So basically what we are is we are people that are sorting and getting people to the gallery. Look at it as an art gallery. And then they're going to look at it and they're going to decide if they want the art. We're not. And you sort and find the people. Right now with the Be Eco product, it's kind of like milking a cow. You've got the cream that rises to the top. You don't even have to bother with the milk. You can just get the cream, which is the richest part. That makes the butter and all sorts of stuff. It's really good stuff. The cream right now, because there's so many people that don't know about it. They don't know. We're the only MLM company right now that has a product like this that is selling to people when the gas prices and diesel prices are skyrocketed. So you don't have to try to convince somebody. In fact, a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So don't try to convince or beg or plead or anything like that. You don't have to, because all it is a sorting process, and you're just going through everybody you know, and you're trying to find. So how do you sort? Well, I use a real simple system because I don't want to have to convince everybody. I only have so much time in a day, and most people who are working for a living, they only have so much time today. One of the best ways to sort is doing texting. A person, when you text them, statistics show that they'll respond to that text or look at that text within 3 minutes of the time that they saw it. And they'll usually respond better with a text than they will if you try to call them. The other way to do it is social media. We have groups here. One of them is called Be Eco, B-Eco. And if you're not a part of that group, become a part of that group, because it's got a whole bunch of testimonials of people in there. And when you go there and you bring people to that, they see all of that and third-party verification. Remember, a lot of times you're not a prophet in your own land. So if you've got a third party, then what happens is it validates what you're telling people. So if someone says, well, that's just going to avoid my warranty. Well, there's already stuff in there that talks about the warranty. Well, how do I know it works? Because there's 100 people there that have been using it and have a testimonial of it working. How do I know that I can make money? Because there's a bunch of people there that are starting to make money off of this. So you use these tools to do it. Now, I like to introduce, I have a thing that I call APA, and they're the three most important things to do as you're doing network marketing, but there's the three things that people hate to do the most. And that is to ask, present, and ask. So what if you had a little system that sorted through and you found the cream just by asking a simple question with a video? There's a couple of people today that signed up 10 people today off of these videos and this simple question. And remember, I want you to take copious notes because I'm not going to. So anyway, here's one of the things. It's a question. Curiosity kills the cat. So here's the question that I text to people every day and I teach people to do. And it's very duplicatable. Anybody can do it. And that is your car on the pill? Now, when you hear that, what do you think of? You go, what the heck? What is that all about? And then you say, and then in that text, you can say, if it's not, watch this video and get back to me. Now, what I did is I just sorted. And the only people that I talk to are, guess who they are? The people who get back to me. See, you don't have to sponsor thousands of people. All you have to do is sponsor a few motivated people. So when you sort, you're taking that and saying, I'm going to find the cream, the cream that's at the top, the people that are looking for opportunity, and they watch the video. Now in there's the video, and you know what the video is? It's really simple. It's not really professionally done, and I don't want it to be because it makes it really easy for people to say, I can do this. And the link, write this down. It is getpaidtofillup.com. Getpaidtofillup.com. So here's what I do to sort. And this is what you can do and make it really easy. I tell people, take 100 to 250 people in your phone. And what you want to do is take those and just text them this. Is your car on the pill? ? If not, watch this video and get back to me. And then you send them that link. You do that to 100 people, watch what happens. I had a friend of mine tell me, well, I don't know 100 people. I've been in a bunch of these network marketing things and I have never been successful and I don't have any friends left. I'm in the NFL club. What is that? No friends left. And that's because they haven't done it right. They haven't sorted. They bug the crap out of everybody and everybody says, hey, don't go to the family party if so-and-so's there, because if you do, he's going to bug the crap out of you, get involved in my business. No, you sort them. And if they're interested, they're going to get involved. If they're not, then they're going to talk to you. If not, they're going to respond to you. If not, then that's okay. You're just looking for the cream right now because there's nobody that knows about this. So you're looking for the cream. And that video does a great job explaining how our product works. And then it talks about the opportunity and how you can make money. Really simple. And then you can drive them, once they say, I'm interested, then you can drive them to the tools. And that is the part of the sorting process. Drive them to the Zoom meetings. We have a Zoom meeting every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6 o'clock. By now, we should have hundreds of people on there. If you're not sorting, if you're not getting people on there, you're losing out because it's powerful and it's a third-party verifier that you're not it. People go to there and they actually go and sort through the people that the reason why that shows all the people that are on the call, because people want to sort through and say, oh, that person looks like someone that I'm like, and so on and so forth. And so what they're doing is they're validating that it's a real deal. And the more people we get on there, the more validation that we have. And if you send people to the link on social media, Facebook, and add them to the group, then they're seeing all the validation. Those are tools that will help you build a business. So when people ask me the question, what do I say? What do I do? How do I build my business? Well, I teach people how to power text is all that is power text is take 100 to 250 people in your group on your phone. That's your list, and start texting them that question. And don't worry about the outcome. Don't attach yourself to the outcome, because there's people that will do it that you think that wouldn't, and there's people that won't do it that you thought would. You just don't know who they are. And so that's your inventory. If you're starting your business, your inventory is the people on your phone. If you don't have many people on your phone, go to your social media. Go to the people where your friends are, where your associates are, where people are. And even if they're in the same room with you, text them a message, because when you're doing your business, you're teaching. As soon as you open your mouth, as soon as you text, you're teaching them a process. And that's what you're trying to do. I guarantee you, everybody that is on here, if they take 100 to 250 people on their phone and text that message, by the end of the week, by the time they're done, they will have people in their business. If they just did that much and didn't even follow up with them, people would start texting them. I have a friend of mine that sponsored me another deal. He's probably on this call tonight. And what he did is I just got so busy, I forgot to text him. So I texted him one day. He calls me up and he goes, "What's this all about?" And I said, "Did you watch the videos?" "Yeah." "How come you didn't tell me this a long time ago?" I said, "Well, it hasn't been out that long." And he says, "Well, you should have told me about, you should have texted me this as soon as you found out about it." And he's got about 14 people in his group now after a week. And it's because he started texting those questions, and he taught his team to start texting those questions. And that's what happens when you start a duplicatable process. Okay. Now, recruiting versus sponsoring. You can recruit all sorts of people. You can beg and coax and plead and get people to join you just because they go, "Oh, leave me alone. Okay, I'll just sign up just because, so you'll stop bugging me." Or you can sponsor. And sponsor is when you sponsor people who want to do the business and you teach them a process. And if you can teach them to ask a question to as many people as they can, that gets them to take a look at something that's not you, then that's the power of sponsoring, because then they say, "I don't have to explain this. There's something that will explain it for me, so I can do this." Because people want to say, when they look at a business like this, can I do it? And can I make money at it? That's what they're looking at. And so you can do this by the sponsor process. Now, I talked about this. You are in the duplication business. What does it mean to duplicate? You want to clone yourself, not you and your personality. You're not cloning your personality. I can stand in front of, I've done it, 5,000 people, 10,000 people in a room, and I can keep them captive because I got some funny jokes and I'm just funny. I'm kidding. I'm not, but I can talk to people and I can do a presentation and have a lot of fun. That's not duplicatable. There's a guy that Randy Gage that's made millions of dollars in the industry, and I took a course from him a long time ago. And he says, what works, just because something works doesn't mean it's duplicatable. So I may be able to sponsor 100 people, but that's not duplicatable if I'm using my personality to try to convince them. So what I'm looking for is to build credibility. I do that by starting making money. And then I also, I duplicate by teaching the lowest level of competency, the level of competency that my 8-year-old grandson can do. So you teach things like texting, like sending people to, or going with them to a Zoom meeting, third party. I've done probably 10 three-way calls today. Why? Because I tell people, don't you try to explain it. So when they start asking questions, get me on. I may be one day older than you in the business, but third party verification is one of the most powerful tools you can use. Third party, three-way calling, get someone else on. I was in another business, and there's a guy that I personally sponsored who he's $1 million a year earner, and he didn't need me. But every time he got somebody interested, he would call me and we'd do a three-way call. And guess what? There's people that are on here that will help you, not just the leaders. If you got people in your upline, get them on a three-way call. Get them on a three-way call. Get them to the Zoom meetings and get them use the tools. Now, I want you to visualize this, okay? So you have a picture on the wall, and you've got somebody that you want them to take a look at it. And then you stand right in front of them and you say, hey, will you look at that picture? And every time they go and try to go around you to look at it, you move in their way. They never get to see the full view of that because you're in the way. That's what most people do when they start recruiting and sponsoring people, is they get in the way and they don't use the tools. And then the other thing that I see is that they start using the tools and they get knowledge. And they all of a sudden start to learn everything about the product and all that kind of stuff. And then they start telling everybody about it. And they tell every detail that they know. But they forgot what got them there. And that was ignorance on fire. They didn't know anything and they just started getting people to do the tools. So if you learn anything tonight, the more you say, the less you make. The less you say, the more you make. Your mouth is not the tool. Let the tools, let the people that are doing the presentations and let them do that, because again, you've got better chance of getting people involved that way. Let me talk a little bit more about speed and urgency. Okay. So one of the things that I learned in the business when I first, my first sponsor in network marketing says there's two ways to do this business: fast or faster. Okay. Not slow, faster, faster. And here's what he said to me. He says, it's easier to get 100 people in 30 days to take a look at something than it is a year to get 100 people to look at it. In 30 days, if you can get 100 people to look at it, get in front of this, it's a lot easier than trying to take all year and pace it out. Okay, there's 365 days in a year. I want 100 people. So what does that mean? Okay, so there's 300. That means point what? Percentage of people I have to do a day. So in a week, if I just talk to a couple of people, you know what I mean? 2 people a week, then by the end of the day, no. Do it as fast as you can. Success loves speed. And then create urgency. Okay. And say, listen, I'm doing a 5x5. And if you don't know what a 5x5 is, then get on some of the calls that we talk about a 5x5. You say, I'm filling up my 5x5 and I want you to be a part of that. And that's what I'm focused on right now. And that's where I'm building everything right now, is in my 5x5. So I need you to come in now so that you can be part of that. And then I'm going to help you do the same thing so that you can create $350 to $1,000 a month off of this your first 30 days. That's called urgency. And if you don't, I put a post up that said that if you're interested, you probably won't do it. But if you're committed, you have a huge chance of doing it. And I got a saying, a phrase that's in our team group. Let's say, so why do we need to create urgency? Because it builds speed. And why do we want to build speed? Because you get things done fast. What did I do? Did I do something? Oh, what it says, Sally Lance requested a live trends. What is that?
I think just say yes. I think they want to read what you're saying.
Okay. Okay, great. How do I pay for my subscription every month? How do you pay for your subscription every month? It's really simple. If we're talking about duplicating, you get 2 people and help them get 2 people. And if you're on a subscription that's just $50, you get 2 people and help them get 2 people, and your subscription is paid every month. That's called a lifestyle bonus. If you want to make more money, then you get on $160, and we can talk about that later. but you can get on a bigger packages, 2 packages, a 50 and 110 package. And if you teach your team to do that, then you can make that $160 every single month, the same thing. Now we have health and wellness products too. That's what I started on. And I lost a ton of weight and put a bunch of people in, and it's a good way to get yourself healthy as well as your car. But if you don't want to do that, you can do it all through the Be Eco products. So how do you get your product paid for? Get 2 people as brand partners and help them get 2 people and your products paid for. Period. That's it. There's not a company out there that I know that you can get your product paid for like this. I was talking to a leader with someone today that was in another company, used to making about $20,000 or $30,000 a month with another company. And I told him that people can get their money back just by getting a 2x2, 2 people who get 2 people. He was blown away because normally it's about 30 people. 30 to 50 people to pay for your auto ship. That's usually what it is. And so that's how you do that. Get it paid for. And that's the first thing you want to get someone to do as soon as they buy it, because here's what happens. They buy it, it's $50 and it's on the credit card and they want to hurry up and get it paid for before the credit card bill comes. So their wife or their husband doesn't find out. So you want to hurry up and help them make that money so they stay on it. Okay, so that's what you want to do. And I kid around with that, but that's true in a lot of cases. Okay, how do I make $1,000 a month? You maximize the comp plan by getting on either one of the products, an $89 health and wellness product that we have, or you pay $110 and $50 and you teach other people to do the same. You maximize the comp plan. You maximize, you see, what is the maximum I need to do to get a lifestyle? These lifestyle bonuses are unbelievable. There's no other company I know of that pay. Usually these bonuses drop down or it's the first month and all that kind of stuff. So lifestyle bonus, and you can learn how to do that. I have a training that I do every Thursday. This one's a little bit different, but I've got a recording that. You can request that in the group and we can start. I can show you how to create $1,050 for you and anybody else that's willing to do it. I talked about how to prospect for brand partners on purpose. What is the rule of 250? What is the rule of 250? It's really simple. There's a guy named Joe Girard. He is in the Guinness World Book of Records as selling more automobiles, more cars, automobiles than anybody in the history of the industry. He would average 6 to 8 a day. And anybody that's been in the automobile industry, that's a lot of cars. And he learned something. He learned that the average person has about 250 people that will recognize them on their, if they die, they'll either go to the funeral, send flowers, or go to the viewing. And if they get married, they have about 250 people that will send presents, go to the reception, or go to the wedding. That's why the wedding invitations and the funeral little booklet thing that you get and stuff like that are about 200. They make about 250. So the average person knows about 250 people that will listen to them, at least take a look at what they have to offer, if you do it right. So if you do a little question to 250 people on your phone, you're going to get some people that are interested and that will join you. And remember, you only need really 2 to 10 people to build a large organization that will create a 6-figure income from you. That's all. They just have to be motivated and willing to do what you're doing. If you're just sponsoring people just to get them in the game and just to use the product, they're called glorified customers. They're a distributor, they're getting wholesale price, and they do nothing for you in the business other than they take up space. And I don't mean that rude, but that's really what's happening. You might as well just have them as a customer, because then they're going to complain that they never make any money because they never did anything, and yet it's your fault. Okay, so you don't want to you don't want to sign up glorified customers. You want to find motivated people. So how you do that is you sort through and stuff like that. But the reality is that I lost my train of thought there. I was talking about this is what happens when you turn 63. You start to lose your train of thought. But the reality is that Joe Girard learned something, and he learned something early on in his career that created something that was massive. He realized that people have influence in some realm of about 250 people. If they go to a party, if they go somewhere, they know that if he gets in front of those people, they also know 250 people. And network marketing is a perfect tool. That's the rule of 250. You know, 250 people, if you go through those two minimum, if you go through 250 people, you're going to get a few. Now, you never have to go out and get a whole bunch of other people if you find a few motivated people out of those 250. Guess what they know? They know 250 people. The people that they know 250 people. The people that they know 250 people. So if you understand that leverage of people's relationships, you can build a massive organization. So if I get 250 people and I show it and I get 5 to 10 people to do the business, I'm going to focus on helping them get to their 250 people. And if I got 10 people in my organization that I personally sponsored over a course of a month, 2 months, a year, or whatever, then they know 250. Now I have 2,500 people that I have access to. Some of them may be the same, but a lot of them won't be. And guess what? If I get 100 people in my organization, I now have how many people? 25,000 people that I have access to. If I get 1,000 people in my organization, that is how much? 250,000 people that I have access to. Why in the world? Why am I not focused on them? And those are people that are relationships. Now, I've gone all over the world and I've done presentations all over. And every time I get in a large group of people that are distributors in a company, here's what I ask the question. I ask this question. How many of you knew the person that signed you up in your company that you're in right now before they told you about it? And about 90% of the room stands up. So and this is true today, if I was in a large group of people, about 90% of them would stand up and say they knew those people before they told them about it. So if we have 90% of the people that are getting involved in network marketing, you already know, why in the world are we chasing the 10% that you don't know? Focused on the networks of people. Network marketing is called network marketing because they want you to use your influence on your network to find the people that want to do this, not to bug the people, but to find the people and then help them use their network to do the same thing. There are hundreds of thousands of people that you have access to if you'll learn this fundamental principle, and that is the rule of 250. Everybody knows if you go to your phone, you probably have at least 250 people in your phone. And that's enough to start your business if you'll ask a simple question. And I'm serious. This question is not offensive. Is your car in the pill? If it's not, okay, then watch this video. It's very non-evasive. And the curiosity of the question and that will get them to watch the less than 3-minute presentation, and they will get back with you if they're interested. And right now you're looking for the cream. And those are the people that get back to you. And it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. But if you'll do it, it works. Okay, what are some of the other questions? Rule 250, using Zoom. I talked about that. Carrie and Angel, and there will be more people as we get more people in that will rotate their time. Lance did the presentation last night, and there will be more and more people that do it's also K-Ross and Terry, and there's other people who will do that. But these presentations are for us so that we can validate with our prospects that this is a real deal and use them and abuse them. And if you're not using and abuse them, then you're doing something wrong because you're trying to tell everybody how it works without using third party. Third party is one of the most powerful tools. Again, I can't iterate that more. Three-way calls. If you're not, when you get somebody to look at the video and they call you or they text you, say, I'm interested, tell me more. Don't do a call by yourself. Bring in an upline person to help you with that call, and do it every time. Don't think you're good enough. I do three-way calls with people because I'm not good enough. Even though I built massive organizations, I need someone else to help that. Three-way call, get a buddy partner. If you don't have anybody in your organization that's up above you that's working, find someone in a cross line, and you work and help each other. Third party. So those are some of the questions. Now, I could go through my presentation. I like to, what's going on here? Okay, here. So I can talk about carrying those guys do it. I have a real simple system that I do. A step of duplication. I purchase the packages that are going to give me the maximum lifestyle bonuses, the 50 and the 100, or the 50 and the $89 package. I try to get everybody on that. I try to focus. We get paid every week. So what I do is I make sure that I get on an auto ship, and I teach people to set up an auto ship the first Thursday every month, because until you get big enough, that way you can maximize the income during that time. So if I can set everybody on Thursday, I know that week I'm going to get a big check. Okay. So you always focus on because you're in business to make money, and any kind of sales or anything like you do, commissionable sales, that's what everybody does. I don't care if it's in traditional sales or not. They figure out how they get paid the most. They shove all of those sales during the period of time that they can make the most money, and that's what you do. And then eventually it will start building the second Thursday, the third Thursday, and the fourth Thursday. That way you can maximize your income, so you can get a big check, at least one big check every month, because we get paid weekly. Make sure that you're doing the lifestyle bonuses. You focus on the lifestyle bonuses. You focus on your own, and you can help other people. Then you start focus on other people's. That's what I'm doing this week. I'm helping people get their 5x5s. I've got one person that's got one 5x5, and about 3 people that got 2x2s, and so on and so forth. And I have a map that shows it, and I'm focused on it. So the next thing is that you focus on 3 people on each side. They get a 5x5, and guess what happens? If you have 3 people that have an auto ship that happens the first week of every month, you're a diamond. Okay. And then if it starts spilling over, so the second week, you're a diamond that week. And all of a sudden there's a whole much more money that you can make. And so focus on the little stuff. Don't focus on building out your binary. Focus on getting 5x5s and finding people that want to do 5x5s, and then build those 5x5s. 5x5s put money in people's pocket, and it puts money in your pocket. And it's easier to focus on that than trying to teach people how to balance a binary. And so that's the best way to do it. Get 3 people on each side, do a 5x5, then do it again, then do it again, and do it again, and do it until your residual income is at the level you want it to be, and then double it, and then go do what Tony Robbins said, that people are successful if they can do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and who they want to do it with. And that's what you're trying to accomplish. Now, I'm not going to talk about the 3x3s. There's plenty of stuff online that teaches you that, carrying those guys. I will tell you that you want to become a diamond. All you have to do is have $75 worth of volume on one side and $75 worth of volume on the other side, and weekly. And if you have a 2x2, you're going to have 14 people on each side that are cycling through their auto ship to get to do that. To be honest with you, that's not very many people. And 3x3, 4x4, I only have to have 3 on each side every week that are their auto ships are coming through. That's a 5x5. I built massive organizations. This is ridiculous. The lowest level of comp. My mom, if she was alive today, could do this with my help. She couldn't do it by herself, but she could do it with my help. And that's what sponsoring is all about. Don't recruit, sponsor. and help people get to a 5x5. And this is the form I use. It's really simple. I right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I've got, and I have sheets of them. I have probably 10 of these right now. And what I do is I have their name, and I actually right here, I put the name of the person that I'm working with right here, and I just fill them in, and I start seeing if they get on the $160, the 50 and the 110 pack, then they get 1.5 the lifestyle bonus. And so I try to focus on that. So some people don't make it, and that's okay. At least I've got them something making coming in every month. If I can get them a 2x2, they're at least in it for life, because it's paying for their product. So this is the package I use. And I've gone through all of this other stuff with everybody. You kind of see what's going on. That's it. Any questions? I'm going to open up questions tonight. People have questions. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask me a question. If you don't have any questions, that means I've done my job, and we can all go and start texting tonight. Any questions? Patty? Who's on here tonight? Rich, Lee. Anybody have any questions? Well, great. If there's no questions, then I think I've done my job. Or you guys don't want to hear anymore, and that's okay too. I will tell you this. I'm going to give a challenge to everybody here tonight, and you can accept it or not. I'm going to challenge you to do one thing, and that is, before you go to bed tonight, text 10 people that question that I said. Now, get your pens and pads, or if you don't have one, type it in a Word doc. I don't care where you put it, but I want you to write this down. Is your car on the pill? Question mark. If not, watch the video and get back to me. And here is the website. Really simple. Carrie, if you want to put it in there, it doesn't matter. Here's the link. getpaidtofillup.com. getpaidtofillup.com. Put that on your phone. Put it wherever you want. I have it. I text it to a bunch of people, but I'm going to challenge you tonight before you go to bed. Text it to 10 people. And then I want you to post that on just to be epic. It's okay. There's a lot of guests there. But you say, I texted this to 10 people and it felt good. I want you to say that on there. I text this message to 10 people and it felt good. And just do it. And let's see how many people on here really do it. And let's see if it's something that you can, let me stop sharing here. I want to see, so there's 46 of us on here tonight. So that means 46. That means that's 460 texts that should be going out tonight before we go to bed. And I promise you, there's people before tomorrow night, we'll have people that will sign up. And if you do that consistently every day, there's a well-known mountain climber that says this, that if one commits themselves, providence kicks in. And that means that things start to move, things start to happen if you commit yourself to do this kind of stuff. Now, I just need to tell you that the information and materials that I'm giving you are tied to what we're doing here, but I learned this from people that are far greater than I am. And I was able to build my first organization when I started using these fundamental principles to over 10,000 people. The last company that I was a distributor in, I had over 280,000 distributors. And I'm a hick from Utah. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I promise you, if you'll take the challenge, text that to 10 people. And if you don't get any response, you don't care. Don't call them. Don't do anything. Text 10 more people the next day. Text 10 more people the next day. Text 10 more people the next day. And then as soon as someone says, hey, tell me more, don't panic. Call the person, a leader in your organization, whatever. Use those tools that we have. Drive them to the tools. And if you don't know where they are, get with your sponsor. If they don't know where it is, get with their sponsor, get to a team leader where you find the tools. This stuff is real. It works. And I tell people all the time, it works if you do. So make the commitment and do it. So there we go. I accept the challenge. Great. And what are you going to say? I text 10 people this and you put it on the thing and I loved it. And because what we're trying to do is create momentum. Even the people that aren't in your organization, if they start seeing that, it becomes a synergy of the whole team and the whole group. And what happens, it starts people that you don't even know that are in your organization will start doing this, and it will excite everybody. So go do it, make it happen. So I am done, and I appreciate everybody being on the call. Wait, I want to say, Greg, will you unmute yourself?
Okay.
How did you hear about this? Did I send you a question, or did you see a question on a site I was in?
I was just randomly saw it. I think I just randomly saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, because I did it on my group that my Gone Mobile. Dave
Yeah.
Pollard, unmute yourself. How did you get in? What did you see? That question?
What's that? Sorry?
Did you see that question and then you responded and told me, how come you didn't tell me this?
Right, I did.
How many people do you have in your organization because of that question now?
Maybe 15,
And when did you start?
3 days ago.
Yeah. See what I'm talking about? It works. It works if you do. And then all I did was send him a text. So just do it. Make it happen. So I want you to know those are two of my newest recruits, and they're building the business because they were willing to text people on their phone that silly question with a response with a link, and it works. So anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great one. And I will see all of you. If you'll do this, I'll see all of you at the top. So let's all get there. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, DeMarr.
Thanks, DeMarr.
Thanks,
Thanks,
DeMarr.
that was awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.